Hey everybody, here we are again. I'm going to do a little cooking demo today. I'm going to make some Spanish, garbanzo beans, and spinach. It has a nice flavor-filled, slightly tomatoey sauce. Um, I'm also going to make a little cashew sour cream to kind of dollop on the top. Um, yeah, this is a great dish. It's one of my favorites. It's one of the um, ones I make when I'm trying to show how great plant-based cooking can be. So this is going to be fun. So what we do first, we actually sort of cook this in stages. We're going to cook the greens first. My recipe calls for a big bag of spinach. Oops, sorry, I have to plug in my burner. That would help a lot. There we go. Plus for a big bag of spinach, and spinach cooks way down. That's why we say a big bag. What I happen to have is not a big bag of spinach. It's just one of these clamshells of super greens. This has got red and green Swiss chard and some tatsoi and arugula and spinach. So it's greens and it's going to cook really quick. Oh my gosh, they look beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in my saucepan here. If anybody's watching, please say hello in the comments. Tell me where you're from. Yeah, share whatever you like. Okay, so I put the whole container of super greens in there. I'm going to add a little bit of water because these are not real wet. Often when you buy spinach, like fresh spinach, it's quite wet and you don't need to add water. But for this, I'm adding a little bit of water. So we're going to let that cook a few minutes. Hopefully it'll cook quickly. I'm going to press it down to help it along. And yeah, and then I'm going to put it in a bowl while I cook the rest of this dish. So I'm using canned chickpeas. They're somewhere over here under this. So I prep things, so I'm not just standing here chopping for 20 minutes. But then I put a towel over it because the onion tends to permeate my whole house. Yeah, so I'm going to be using canned chickpeas. The can of chickpeas is about maybe 1.5 cups. So if you're cooking them, you know, from dry, that's about how much you want for this dish. You can always use more or less. Okay, the greens are already starting to cook down. This is a really healthy dish because it's got the greens in it, and we like to have some greens every day. It's got the legumes from the chickpeas. I often share it with a grain of some sort, rice. Today I have some quinoa, so I'll probably have it with some quinoa. I cook this, it's 12 o'clock here, so it's kind of like our lunchtime. So often what I have for lunch on the days that I do a Facebook Live is I have whatever I have made live that day. Sometimes it's always really awesome. Because normally other days, not doing the Facebook Live, I have a salad. Salads are great, but this certainly gives me some variety. Okay, this is done. The greens are cooked down. I'm just temporarily going to put them into a bowl while I cook the rest of the ingredients. The next step is to very, very, very slowly cook some garlic. I've already done that because it does take about 5 minutes, just really slow, put it on lowest possible temperature to cook the garlic. So I went ahead and did that. So that is actually behind me on the stove. I'm going to go ahead and toast up some almonds. I have some almonds that I cooked. Hi, Kathy. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. I'm going to toast up some almonds. So these add a lot to this dish, a lot of crunch. I kind of chopped them up in a coffee grinder. I have a coffee grinder I keep just for chopping nuts. And some of it, I'm sorry, and some of it chopped a little too small. So that taught me a lesson. But I still went ahead. I'm going to use it. So I have a half a cup of the chopped almonds. I'm going to add my spices at this point too. The cumin is 1.5 teaspoons. Okay. So this is 3/4 of a teaspoon. So I need 2 of those. So it kind of has these classic Mediterranean flavors. Smoked paprika, which I absolutely love. That's 1/2 teaspoon. And then 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne. Give it a little bit of punch. Hi, Anita. Oh, she's getting a pedicure. I am very jealous. I'm like a year overdue for my pedicure, right? Okay, and then we're also going to add a wee bit of salt. I think I'm going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm not sure how much that is using the grinder, so I'm going to call it 4 5 grinds. Okay, we're going to cook this for a minute until these almonds get kind of toasty. Then we'll put them in the spinach while we cook the peppers and onions. So the almonds will turn a little bit golden. They're already doing that. Yeah, this is one of my favorite recipes. You know, when people say, "Oh, I have people coming. What should I feed them?" This is a great thing to feed them because everybody likes it. It also stores well. You can make it ahead. These are getting nice and brown. I don't know if you can see in your screens. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and add them to the spinach, which is in this bowl right here. Okay. So the next step is to saute some onion. I have one onion here that I've chopped up. And at the same time, we're going to saute bell pepper. I happen to have an orange one. You can use, green or red, yellow, any color bell pepper. And I might add a little bit of water to this because I don't use oil when I saute, and I don't want to, stick and burn. I really love the smell of onions cooking. Raw onions, not as much. That's why I cover it up after I chop it up. Okay, this will take just a minute. And then we're going to add chickpeas and some tomato sauce and simmer it. So while we're waiting for the onions to cook, I'm going to go ahead and make my cashew sour cream. So for that, I make something like this often. It's kind of similar each time. I just have some cashews, which I've soaked in hot water for a little while. I'm going to drain those right now. And then we just blend this up in a high-speed blender if you have one. I'm going to use my NutriBullet, my new favorite toy. I want to get these cashews into the NutriBullet. I did drop a couple in the sink. Yeah, so the basis for all these cashew dishes is just cashews and water. And then we add some things to flavor it. For this, I'm going to add about 3/4 a cup of water. That's 3/4. Then I'm going to add a couple of things to make it sour. One is apple cider vinegar. Better stir up my onions. Doing 2 things at once. Wow, those smell good. Okay, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. I need a couple tablespoons of lemon juice. I believe is normally approximately half of a lemon, so just go ahead and put in the juice of half a lemon. Here's my mussels, such as they are. And then a little bit of salt, half a teaspoon. So that's 3. Okay. Now I'm looking for the base, the NutriBullet. Okay. Oh, I see it. It's over on my counter. Okay. Okay, NutriBullet. This is my new, like I said, my new favorite toy. I'll see if I can put this where y'all can see it. Yeah, you just push this in, turn it. And that's it. Presto, magic. We have sour cream. I'm going to let it sit like this for a while so it can all fall down into the container. Belize, hi. Nice to have you with me too. Okay, the onions and bell pepper are cooked. So we're going to add our chickpeas. Again, that's about 1.5 cups. We're going to add a cup of tomato sauce. I just used canned tomato sauce. Turn it down a little bit so it'll simmer. And then about half a cup of water. We'll see how that does. So that is basically the steps of the recipe. We're just going to let this simmer a little bit, and then I'll add in the spinach and the almonds, and we'll be done. Yeah, I think half a cup of water is a great amount because this is making a nice, really nice tomato sauce. These chickpeas and onions and peppers. We'll let that simmer. So I'll let it simmer probably just a couple minutes because I don't want this to go on another 10 minutes. Today, as I'm recording this live, it's a Tuesday, and right? It's a Tuesday? Yeah. Thursday, I am going to make, I think what's on my schedule is lemon poppy seed pancakes. I wanted to do a couple of dishes that I thought would be really nice for Mother's Day brunch. So I'm going to make pancakes on Thursday, and then on Saturday, I'm going to make a strawberry shortcake. Both of those would be kind of fun for a brunch, springtime luncheon brunch. You know, kind of thing we're starting to do again with our family and our friends, getting together. Okay, even though this hasn't gone 10 minutes, I am going to go ahead and put because the point of simmering at this point is to just sort of continue to develop some flavors in the tomato sauce. And I think that can happen even after I'm going to add the bowl now where I have my almonds and the spices and the greens. So this is going to be my lunch today. It's going to be really awesome. Like I said, I made a little quinoa, so we'll have some of that with it. Just want to stir this enough to get the greens distributed evenly. That whole big clamshell of greens kind of cook down into smallish clump. So we want to break up that clump using my fingers to kind of pull it apart. Yeah, so that's the Spinach garbanzo beans. I think it's a fairly classic Spanish dish. I'm not sure why it's Spanish. It's obviously Mediterranean though, with these spices and these ingredients. But we'll give the Spanish credit for it today. So I'm just going to dish it up in a little bowl and put a little sour cream on it. And we'll see what it tastes like. So here's my bowl. It's simmering beautifully. Let's look at the sour cream. So I know it's hard to see what this looks like. It's thick. I think the other day I made some mayonnaise, and what I call mayonnaise. And cashew cream, and they're all about the same consistency. It's what I'd call slightly a little more liquid than a regular thing of sour cream that you buy. So this can be poured, but it's quite thick. Okay, so I need to get a spoon. And I need to get fork for eating this. Wow, this looks so good. I really like the orange bell pepper in here too. I like the color of it. So I'm going to just take this off my burner so you can see the colors of it are really beautiful. So let's put some in a bowl. The nuts add quite a bit of texture. They'll add a little bit of crunch. Then I'm going to get some sour cream. There we are. It's a small serving, but I hope you think it looks tasty. Hi, Carol. Yeah, I love this NutriBullet. I'm not even sure the model of it. Carol says she might get a NutriBullet. I'm not sure the model. It just says NutriBullet. Oops, NutriBullet. It's gray. That helps. All right, let's see what this tastes like. Ah, ooh. Wow, this is so good. The almonds add a lot. I definitely would not leave the almonds out. It has so much warm flavor from the cumin and the paprika and the cayenne. Um, the chickpeas, they're just chickpeas. They're a little bit nutty. Um, the greens add some flavor and different texture. I'm just going to keep eating it here for a minute. The sour cream cools everything down. This is a really wonderful dish. And I think you could eat it as a stew. So you could just, serve a bowl of it like you would a soup or a stew. Or you could put it with a grain. Rice would be good. I happen to have made some quinoa today, so I'm going to have it with that. So I think I'm going to have another bite. Does anyone have any questions? I don't always see the comments when you first type them in. I can't recommend this any more highly. And it didn't really take that long. I mean, it's only 12:20 something. I did do some prep ahead of time. Obviously, I did some chopping and things. But once you do that, do all your chopping, it comes together really quickly. You could use, I think my recipe says to simmer it. My recipes are all on my website, everydayplantbased.com. And the recipe says simmer, 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 simmer. You don't, in my opinion, it's fine. We didn't simmer it very long. So I think you could serve it pretty quickly after you add everything, put everything all together. Okay, well, I appreciate you being here, and maybe I'll see you next time. My plan is to make to make some pancakes. That would be nice for a brunch. And I'm going to think about what I might make to put on top of them, maybe like a fruit compote or something like that. So I look forward to that. And thanks, Anita and Kathy and Elise and Carol, for being here and letting me know you're here. I appreciate that. And enjoy this dish if you get a chance to make it. And I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.